Brought to you by Penguin.
Allies at War. The Politics of Defeating Hitler. Written and read by me, Tim Bouverie. To Clemmy. There is only one thing worse than fighting with allies, and that is fighting without them. Winston Churchill. Preface. Stalin was in excellent spirits. As host to 31 guests, including 3 interpreters, he set the tone by telling jokes, clinking glasses, and attacking the dinner of white fish in champagne sauce, caviar, mutton, and quail with zeal. Rising from his place at the centre of the table, he proposed a toast to the guest on his left. The leader of the British Empire, the most courageous of all prime ministers, who, when all Europe was ready to fall flat before Hitler, said that Britain would stand and fight alone against Germany, even without any allies. Later he paid tribute to the British-Soviet-American alliance that had driven the German army back from the steppes of Eurasia, the sands of North Africa, the shores of the Mediterranean, and the English Channel to the Nazi citadel. In the history of diplomacy, I know of no such close alliance of 3 great powers as this. Allies should not deceive each other. Possibly our alliance is so firm just because we do not deceive each other. Or is it because it is not so easy to deceive each other? I propose a toast to the firmness of our 3-power alliance. May it be strong and stable. May we be as frank as possible. The ironies within Stalin's statement, made on the 5th evening of the Yalta Conference, 8th of February 1945, abound. While Winston Churchill had been vowing to fight on after the fall of France, Stalin had been collaborating with Hitler. Despite his injunction against deception, the Soviets had installed dozens of secret listening devices in the palaces housing the British and American delegations. Every morning before the conference resumed, Stalin was briefed on the private conversations of Churchill and Franklin D. Roosevelt. That afternoon he had met the American president and received the promise of territory in China and the Pacific in return for the Soviet Union joining the war against Japan. Neither the British nor the Chinese nationalist leader Chiang Kai-shek were consulted. Most serious of all, Stalin had repeatedly stated his wish to see a strong, independent, and democratic Poland, while remaining steadfast in his determination to preserve the communist puppet regime he had recently installed in Warsaw. Little wonder that Churchill, as he confessed in his toast, felt the burden of responsibility more heavily than at any other moment of the war. The future of Eastern Europe, he had complained to the Soviet diplomat Ivan Maisky 2 days earlier, rests on your bayonets. And yet, as Stalin himself had said, it would not have been possible to win the war without the alliance. As Churchill remarked, shortly after returning from Yalta, there is only one thing worse than fighting with allies, and that is fighting without them. This epigram encapsulates one of the most important themes of the Second World War. In order to defeat the Axis, it was necessary for the British, the French, the Americans, the Soviets, and the Chinese to work together. Their collaboration was sophisticated, diverse, mighty, and conquering. Yet it was also fractious, suspicious, duplicitous, and rivalrous. This book sets out to explore this antagonism, to examine the conflict and cooperation within the anti-Axis alliance, with all its consequences for the 20th century and beyond. The only reason why Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, and the militarist governments of Emperor Michinomiya Hirohito did not triumph between 1939 and 1945 was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?